All right. Welcome, race fans, here to another exciting night of racing here with NASCAR Outlaw League, as Freaky Fast is proud to bring you guys to Bristol Motor Speedway, the great Coliseum here for the Gen 6 cars with these guys as they are under qualifying. So this is going to be a fun race. We got championship battle going on. We got some drivers that are going to be trying to make it into the next round. We got 2 drivers that will be going home. So thank you everybody out there for tuning in on YouTube and Facebook side of things. You know what to do. Hit that like and reaction button and follow button. We do much appreciate it. But I am happy to bring up here on the side of me, up here in the booth here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway, as we are going to have Brandon Colley and Zach Hall joining me in the booth here tonight. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic as always, Robert. Good to be back here again for our 3rd night in a row at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Outlaw League. How you doing tonight, Mr. Colley?
Can't complain. A bit rainy up here in the northwest, but otherwise doing pretty good. Happy to be here tonight.
Some awesome stuff here. It's going to be a wild show here tonight, as this is your round of 8 in their playoffs, and they will be losing 2 drivers. And at the moment, actually, I can confirm, I believe, that we're missing 2 drivers from this from our registration, and it does not look like they will be going on. So it looks like the guys who are in the playoffs will be locked into the next round at Dover. So
well, that was easy.
I think they'll breathe a sigh of relief, right?
right. Well, now we have to find a different storyline to talk about.
Well, it's Bristol. There's all types of storylines,
right.
Like that outside wall,
the inside wall,
the rear bumper, the front bumper.
Pit
there's
road.
all types of. Yeah, this place can tear you up real quick. So
we've seen that the past 2 nights, didn't we, gentlemen?
Yeah, definitely did. Right now we got about a minute remaining, minute 50 seconds here remaining in qualifying. At the moment, you got Ryan Goodell sitting on the pole with 14:65 over Kyle Speed's 14:69. So 2 fast times there on the top of the board so far. We got 3 guys yet to qualify, and we'll see what they can put down. But I'm expecting a pretty good race here tonight. 250 laps under the lights at Bristol. They got 3 sets of tires in the pit, 60% fuel load. Looking probably to do around 80 laps to 90 laps on fuel. Should be a special night here at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
And as you mentioned, Kyle Speed's up qualifying 2nd at the moment. He was quick on Monday and Tuesday. Ryan Goodell threw me for a loop. Used to seeing Devin Alward, in the 44 machine, but he's got the quick time at the moment. And you mentioned the guys that did not register for the race getting knocked out of the playoffs just by virtue of not showing up. This is not a good place you'd want to run to have to race your way in, so these guys are definitely pretty thankful for them guys not showing up tonight.
Yeah, it takes a lot of stress, that's for sure. Wait, man, this place will really eat you up, and we can go ahead, although we got 31 seconds here left to qualify, we'll go ahead and bring up the playoffs. So we'll have Christopher Lawrence moving on in the 9 car. He's qualified 4th so far tonight. Christopher Woodard, he's in that 3rd position. Joaquin Mezzi is yet to qualify, but he is registered. John Gallagher, he is qualified so far in the 8th position. You have also Matthew Jagger is no driver missing, so Matthew Jagger will be going home tonight, unfortunately, after the conclusion of this race. So will Daryl Arnold. There are 2 other drivers, are Preston Michael, who is qualified in the 9th position so far, and Ryan Goodell in the 44, our pole setter, will be moving on to Dover next week. So those 6 drivers, very, very happy. I'm sure they won't have to worry about nothing tonight. They can just go out here and have a good time at Bristol.
Yeah, it takes away a lot of the stress for sure. Wrecks happen in a hurry here. Your car gets beat up pretty quick, even with the fast repairs, as we saw on Monday. And had leaders get taken out late in the race. At least now you don't have to worry about that. 2 stressful weeks is bad going to Dover next week. So avoiding some stress here tonight. They'll be a bit happier going into Dover, I'm sure.
That is for sure. That's for sure, Brandon. And we will move on to our starting grid here tonight. Starting on the pole is Ryan Goodell in the number 44. Second place will go to Kyle Spees. Third on that inside second row is Christopher Woodard. Fourth is Christopher L. Lawrence. Fifth will be Nick Rader. Sixth is Robert Woodard. Seventh is Chris Malcolm. Eighth, John Gallagher. Ninth, Preston Michael. 10th is Shane Tierney. 11th is Ace Thierwide. 12th is Joaquin Meza. 13th is Stephen Ford. And 14th, right field, is Matthew Biley. So we got 14 cars here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway to go to battle on the last great Coliseum here. And we will see these guys duke it out. As you got to be a gladiator to survive this place.
Oh yeah, it's you know, if you can somehow put up that shield and keep these guys from bouncing off you and stay out of trouble, you normally get to the front pretty quickly here at Bristol and end up with a good finish. You know, we've got Christopher Lawrence starting fourth. He won on Monday, and I think probably lucky for these guys, Paul Henley is not in the field tonight.
Yeah.
We thought he was strong Monday and Tuesday, coming home with the victory yesterday, I believe. So the field's opened up a little bit. Be interesting to see who comes out strong now.
Yeah, those guys definitely. Paul Henley put on a performance both those nights. Unfortunately, came up second to Christopher Lawrence after that down performance in ARCA. That's what Bristol produces, and then he went on to a really barn burner of a race for him. He completely destroyed the field at in the trucks last night, and it was very impressive to watch and really fun to watch also. So we'll see those guys at Dover and ARCA and Truck Series next week as they moved on to a round of 6. And we're about to get ready to go green here, guys. So let's get hyped up. There's going to be the pace car pulling in. And green flag is out. Ryan Goodell is going to take off, lead us down into turn 1, going to slide up the banking. Look at this, go open up the door for Christopher Woodard in that 2 car. Already some positions being quickly changed here through the opening laps of Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Zach, and you look at Christopher Woodard on the inside there. You've really only got about 2 chances to make that inside work on fresh tires on a restart. That high side, once it gets going, as you saw with Kyle Spees, he just takes off, and there's not much that Woodard can do.
That is for sure, Brandon. Yeah, that outside line is going to be the dominant line all night. If you can make passes on the bottom, you're going to be very, very strong. That's going to show your strength. As right now, they're nose to tail up front, 44 on the back of the 36, looking at the number 2. Now we're back up to the 44, leading this field. Man, it's already pretty close up front here for these front 3, and we're already single filed out pretty much throughout this whole field. As look at the 36, he's going to take a look to the inside, got a pretty decent run. Can he make the bottom stick? We'll see.
Well, based on my testing that I did earlier in preparation for tonight, that bottom lane, once you get about 10 laps in, it's close to 2/10 off a lap from the high side. So if you're going to make that move, you got to do it right now. And he's pulling pretty well there and makes it stick. A little bit of wiggle, but off he goes.
Yeah, straight to the lead for Kyle Spees, making the bottom work here. Look, Christopher Woodard said, I seen you do it. I want to do it too. Now he goes to the inside of the 44, Ryan Goodell.
Yeah, got to be really careful not to overdrive and let the nose wash up. Don't want to be wrecking somebody super early, especially from second and third place. So the guys are being pretty patient right now, giving them plenty of room, not leaning too hard. A lot of respect out here.
Yeah, definitely. To make that pass on the bottom, you got to have a lot of patience too. You just can't, like you said, barrel it off in there too deep, and you'll have some issues if you do that. That's for sure. And you don't want to have no issues early here at Bristol, so they can come back to bite us. Look at the 29 and Nick Rader. He's kind of come back up here into his back. Our top 5 has pretty much broken away from the field here, as Kyle Spees kind of says, I'm going to check out for a little bit, guys. Now, I know from past experience here, Brandon, that you can really eat the tires off here if you go around here really rim riding this place and sending it off into the corner. So Kyle Spees is definitely going on to build a gap if he can, but he's also got to watch out for eating up those right side tires. And I think you're seeing Ryan Goodell definitely play a little bit of tire strategy.
Yeah, as you alluded to it, the top 5 broke off. They're about a whole straightaway ahead at the moment. And tire management is always important here, especially with running the high side, how they have been the last couple builds. You kind of want to dime in the corners now, but if you pinch down that entry a little bit too much and wash up, it really burns up the right front pretty quickly. If you can try to keep it as close to the wall and entry as much as possible and not scrub off too much speed, that's ideally what you want to do.
Definitely so, and here we're riding along with the number 4, Preston Michael here, as you see him fighting his way across from Bristol, and he's got Robert Woodard in front of him. Oh, look to his inside. Now there's John Gallagher in the 50. We got a nice little shot there. You can see this mirror is trying to make that bottom work. Very tough to do, though, here in Bristol, as we said before. So you're going to see Preston Michael Holmes at 7th position at the moment, try to chase down the number 26 of Robert Woodard.
Yeah, and if you're fast, especially, you know, a lot faster than the guys that are running up top, you can really make that inside lane work. And we saw earlier with the 44 of Ryan Goodell, he's just a little bit slower on the high side. And when you get somebody up top like that, that's just a slight bit slower than the guys behind, everybody gets to catch up. And you're seeing that right now.
Yeah, definitely. That let John Gallagher did get to the outside of Preston Michael and get by there. Now the 14 of Ace trying to work his way to the bottom of the inside of Preston there. So tough stuff. But the thing is, the leaders are coming quick. This place cooks off lap times, 15-second laps, back to back to back. So, you know, in a very short amount of time, these leaders will be there, as the 12th place car is only 12.5 seconds behind the leader. So, yeah, it's going to be soon this leader catching some lap traffic about 3 or 4 seconds up the road.
Well, Zach, looking at the lap times, I mean, they're 18 laps into this run already, and they're still running 15.1s. Kyle Spees just ran a 15.1 that last time by, and he qualified with a 14.6, so they're not losing much speed at all. So speed really shows here, and these guys that are able to qualify up front, they're fast for a reason, and that little bit of difference in lap time for how short this track is, it really adds up quickly. And as you can see, he's caught the back of the field already.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry about that. So knocking on the door, but there, the 36, yeah, like you said, is caught the back of the field. That's Joaquin Meza there in that 11th position. He's already got. Oh, and look at what he said. Oh, and look at, we're going spinning around, guys. Oh man, Joaquin Meza in the Dodgers machine. Oh, unfortunate early here, and that's what I said. It can easily happen. That lap traffic can become a major factor in this race.
Yeah, it goes to show, you know, you've seen it Monday and Tuesday and now Wednesday, that you're not safe anywhere in this field. It doesn't matter what position you're running, trouble can reach out and find you really quickly.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to go back here on the replay as we see here. Number 42 of that Dodgers machine, Joaquin Meza. They're going through 1 and 2. He's going to try to come off of 3 and 4. You got the 36 leader there of Kyle Spees trying to get to the inside, but just a little bit into the rear quarter panel of that 42. It's going to send him straight down this racetrack, head on into the wall. Major collision there. Unfortunate end to Joaquin Meza's car there, but he does have 2 fast repairs tonight here at Bristol, so he should be able to get her back on pit road. He will be going a lap down most likely and get that thing fixed up. But the biggest thing on the bright side is 2 of his competitors did not come here tonight in the playoffs, and he will be moving on to round of 6. So that incident right there does not ruin his playoff chances for next week in Dover.
Yeah, and you know, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, not a lot of pressure. You know, you hate to get wrecked, and tempers normally flare here at Bristol, but when you're already locked in, don't have to worry about too much. It's easy to let that one slide off your back.
It definitely is, Brandon. And now we're looking at Kyle Speed's pace around this half-mile banked, amazing racetrack we have here on iRacing of Bristol Motor Speedway. The thing is here, they got 3 sets of tires in that pit box. I think this early, you're not going to want to come down and put a set on at all. You know, you're thinking about the long haul here with 250 laps in this race. You never know when a set could be needed. And I can tell you what, if you got a good, you know, a good 30, 40 laps, 50 laps on these tires, you put a set of tires on, you're going to feel like Superman, drive by everybody on the bottom of this racetrack. So it's definitely going to come down to it at the end if we get a bunch of cautions here. Who saved the tires, who didn't, and that's always the interesting thing here with the tire limit, man.
Man, I wouldn't, looking at these times, you know, talking about the tires, I wouldn't even consider at this point changing the tires. You know, from lap 1 until that last lap before the caution, even with the contact, he still wasn't running even a second off of his first lap out. So I wouldn't imagine they're going to be changing tires probably until about lap 60 if I'm in the lead right now.
Yeah, I think you're going to push it as far as you can with that fuel to make sure, you know, you're getting to those points where you can make it to the end on your set of tires. You know, It's always a good thing to save a set though. So, and we've seen it play out. I know the two of Christopher Woodard, he always likes to save a set of tires. You know, to have that in his back pocket. He almost used that to his advantage at Kansas a few weeks ago, and almost pulled a race win off there with that. So, it's always impressive to see you guys, doing different little strategies and stuff. And I believe we're gonna have Kyle Speeds also get the EOL here, guys, for being the cause of that caution there. So he will have to drop to the rear of the field. But the 36 was very, very strong. You see how fast he caught lap traffic. Wouldn't be surprised to see him back up here. Got a long race left. And that'll push the lead up to Ryan Goodell in that 44, our pole setter. Now he's got the inside car of Chris Woodard in that number 2. As we get ready to head back to Greenville.
Kyle Speed's getting EOL, not super big deal. You just got to be careful now not to get involved with anything or ruin your night pretty quickly, especially when you got a fast car. And just patience, and you'll get back to the front. You know you're fast.
Definitely is. As that pace car pulls off, we get that green flag back in the air. The number 2 lights the rear tires up, going off into 1. That's going to let the 29 clear on the outside of Nick Rader there. They're going to fight side by side down the back straightaway with 44 Ryan Goodell leading this race.
Well, as we've seen so far with both of these restarts tonight, that the inside lane guy starting in 3rd, he can keep up on the restarts, but that high line, I just feel like if you're not going to restart in the lead, you want to be 2nd or even 4th. I feel like the inside, you can just keep next to a guy and keep him down below you. You're going to make the pass. It's just a matter of time.
Definitely is. And now we're watching here this battle. Got the 50 of John Gallagher starting to move his way up here. He's going to go to the inside of the 9. I believe, did he take new tires? I'm going to have to check on my telemetry here with our stats and check that out, because, man, he really made that look pretty easy there, that pass. So I'll check that out here in 1 second for us.
Well, Zach, looking at it, he did not pit. I think the only ones that pit were Stephen Ford and Joaquin Meza. So he's just maybe taking it easy on that first run.
Easy, yeah.
Saving up a little bit of tires.
Very smart. I mean, with the tire saving you can do here, and also with the tire limits, you can save some tire, and there's going to usually be cautions at Bristol. You can, that just plays right into your factor. Look at him; he's starting to put pressure on the 29 now for a top 3 position here.
Well, and you could see that Christopher and Nick Rader, they were battling, and then allowed Ryan Goodell to pull out to a pretty substantial lead here as we got Nick bouncing off the wall. Just a little bit of right side damage there, but when you get 2 guys battling like that, you're the leader. That's exactly what you want to see, and just slow and easy laps and extend your lead.
Right, and that's exactly what Ryan Goodell is doing right now. Starting to put a little bit of a gap here on the number 2 of Christopher Woodard. But we're watching the battle of the number 29 and the 50, as the 50 is trying his hardest to look at him. Here he goes to the bottom off of 4. Makes the great pass, man. That was a power move right there. He's going to slide up into 1 and 2. Clear for 3 and down the back straightaway. He's going to slide to that 3rd position as Nick Rader slides back in the 4th.
Well, it was a great move. It's a pretty textbook way to get a run on somebody coming out of the corner, but eventually that's not going to work as well anymore. You're going to burn up the tire. Just how aggressive that is to make that quick left to pinch the car down to get the run. So he's using it while he can with this little bit that he saved.
Joaquin Meza, in the 42 and the 4, Preston Michael there. Contact off of turn 2 as Joaquin was trying to get through on the newer tires, I believe. And man, that was just some contact there between him and the 4. That puts the 4 up into the wall along with the Joaquin. And that was heavy damage on the right side of that 4 car now. That's definitely not going to be what you want here early in this race here at Bristol.
Especially now when you've got the leader, Ryan Goodell, breathing down your neck, because he's caught this group of 3 cars at the tail end of the lead lap here, looking to start checking them off.
Yeah, he's going to go to the inside of the 41 of Chris Malcolm, put Chris Malcolm down 6 laps in this race. Now the 4 bounces off the wall. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is the lap traffic. You got to navigate so well through it. Ryan Goodell doing an amazing job to miss that. He's going to come side by side off a corner on the outside. He's got the 4. He's going to clear off in the 3.
And you have to be so patient as the leader here, catching lap traffic.
Yeah, look at this.
I mean, it's narrow enough as it is, short track racing, but the speed difference between these guys. If you miss time a run, or they just make the wrong move at the wrong time, and well, you get a yellow just like this.
Yeah, there's the yellow flag. We'll have to see what that is for. I believe that's for the 29 of Nick Rader. So we'll have to go back here on replay and check this out and see what happened here on lap 40 at Bristol Motor Speedway. So we'll go back here on the replay and check it out. Right along with the 29, he gets into the wall there right in front of Kyle Spees. And that 36 can come down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. Kyle Spees looks like he's going to try to make the move around on the bottom. And then Nick again up into the wall, and that's going to shoot him down the racetrack as he tries to slide in behind that 36, but that 9 was there of Christopher Lawrence. And right off the right front into the left rear quarter panel of that 29, that's going to send the 29 around with a little bit of contact from the 26, also Robert Warder. So some damaged race cars from this incident, and there goes 29. Can he keep out the inside wall? No, he can't. Not too bad on the front bumper though. It could have been worse, but yeah, man, it's hard to stay on that inside wall with this track being banked even on the straightaways.
Yeah, you know, outside wall contact in the corner side, that's a pretty textbook incident at Bristol. Just how the outside kind of pinches the diamonds off the corner. Just misjudged it a little bit and made contact. Sent him around. Didn't really hurt too much here. Aerodynamics aren't super important. You just don't want to hurt the engine. So that damage shouldn't be too bad. Probably won't even spend much time getting it fixed, I'd imagine. Not risk going a lap down, but I think more damage to the pride than anything.
Yeah, definitely so there. This place can be a place that swallows you up, that's for sure, and you definitely have a tough time getting out of the clutches of Bristol Motor Speedway sometimes when it wants to fight back. But yep, as we pace here, Ryan Goodell again leading us. Christopher Warder in that second position, John Gallagher in third. It looks like Kyle Spees has made his way up into fourth position. He's going to actually hit pit road. So that's going to push Christopher Lawrence and Robert Warder up into that fourth and fifth position, as Kyle Spees will be the last car, I believe, on the lead lap. Or no, Shane Tierney will be the last guy on the lead lap. But it looks like Kyle will pit. So will Shane in the 19. And the 29 and Nick Rader, I believe, also will come down pit road after that contact. He's got his fast repair.
Yeah, Zach, and I noticed that Kyle was coming down pit road, and I'm trying to think of what his strategy would be, and the first thing that came to my mind is that he's just trying to get a couple extra laps fuel on Ryan, and maybe whenever we get maybe green flag stops or another caution after another 20-30 lap run, you'll be able to vault him in position. As we know, track position here, especially with the high line being so prevalent, it's super important. So just being ahead is such an advantage in itself that he's playing the long game here. So we'll see how it works out for him.
Yeah, and definitely, and you know, also that fuel is going to help to balance that race car. I imagine they're fighting a tighter race car as this run goes on, with that right front really getting the abuse around this racetrack. So adding a little fuel will help loosen that race car up a little bit and help it turn a little more by, you know, putting a little more weight on that rear end.
Yeah, and it's not something you, well, at least it's not something that I practice very much, you know, on old tires, just coming in to get fuel to see how it changes the balance. But imagine he's probably going to take it easy here, just feel out how the car's handling now, and then start attacking it and maybe just take the lead outright. Yeah,
we definitely could see that. He'll restart 60 as that pace car takes the hard left turn. Green flag's back out, Barney waving it up. And man, oh man, the 44 had some wheel spin, but the 2 of Christopher Warder had a lot of wheel spin. And he's going to slide back all the way to that 5th position, maybe even farther, as now your front 3 are Ryan Goodell, Christopher Lawrence, and also Kyle Spees there. So the outside line went, the bottom line didn't, as we look back here at Nick Rader in the 7th position after that incident.
Yeah, and that's we saw that earlier in the race. That's twice now from the 2 car. It just seems like the inside lane, just the transition from the banking, it's a little bit sharper. It doesn't agree with the restarts, man. It just wants to light the tires up. It's a really good job that he kept it going straight and didn't turn across the field. We've seen that happen quite a few times.
Definitely have. Now Kyle Spees here in that 3rd position, trying to put the pressure on Monday night's winner, Christopher Lawrence here.
Yeah, he was slightly inside about a lap or 2 ago. Couldn't quite make the pass off the corner. Couldn't set up for a good entry into the next set of corners. So he's just kind of falling back, sizing him up a bit, seeing what he can do to get an advantage as we have the 50 now, catching up to both of them.
Yeah, John Gallagher He's been looking strong all night as he's right there in the rearview mirror of the 36 of Kyle Speeds here is riding on board. Look at this shot. This shows you right here how tough Bristol is, man. It's literally a blink of an eye. You're in the next corner. There's no time to rest here. It's all go and no give.
Yeah, and you can see a little bit. It also depends a lot on driver preference as to where they have their camera set for their viewpoint. But when you're in the corner, that 8-post blocks pretty much the exit. So if anything happens in front of you and you're not aware of it, we saw it on Monday with the 18 getting involved in a wreck that he just couldn't see, and the caution came out late. I think he was running second at the time, and man, he it's just so hard to see here, and really easy to get into trouble. So these guys, you've got to keep your ears open, but also keep your eyes in front of you, just to navigate anything that could potentially be even a lap behind you and come up on it quick.
Definitely so, as Kyle Speeds there while we were talking gets by the 9 of Christopher Lawrence, with John Gallagher now on the back of the 9. But look at the 29. I believe he came down, got his fast fix in some tires, and he's starting to start back up the field after his spin from the last caution. So he slides up into the top 4 now and looking to get into the top 3. That shows you what tires are worth right here.
Yeah, almost 60 laps into the run, them fresh tires only having a little over 10 to 15 laps on them. They're still pretty fast considering, and he's charged up very quickly. He's putting down lap times that are 2/10 quicker than Kyle Speeds and Ryan Goodell ahead of him right now.
Definitely has, and while Kyle Speeds was trying to get around the 9, that let Ryan Goodell get out to a 2.3 second lead here. Now the 29 says, I'm here, I want to get second, and I want to charge up to that lead. As Nick Rader, look at him go on the bottom to the inside of that 36. We'll see those new rubber on those cars work very well as that bottom line hooks up, and he's going to clear off into second place now for that number 29.
Well, Zach, you mentioned the battle that allowed Ryan to extend his lead out. Well, that lead shrank very quickly as he caught this group of lap cars ahead of him here. He's doing a pretty good job of navigating him, just tipping to the low side and slowly working his way by. They're giving him plenty of room here, being really respectful. Ooh, as we got Raider that runs into the back of Meza. A little bit of contact there, but no harm, no foul as everybody keeps rolling.
Yeah, and you can already see Nick is within a second already of the leader, Ryan Goodell. He can cut through his traffic a lot easier than he can because it's just some fresher tires. It allows you to run that bottom so much quicker. And now, I think within a lap, you're going to see that 29 take this lead.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's running laps that are still, he ran a 15.68, Nick Rader did, to Goodell's 16.2. He passed him right as the caution comes out. Whoa, wow. That's great timing.
Oh, man, there's a wreck with the 2 of Christopher Wooder. And I believe the 41 of Chris Malcolm involved. And also the Fall Guys car. Oh, it started between the 9 and the 50. So we'll go back to replay here. See what happened as we ride here looking at Christopher Wooder, one of our playoff contenders. Man, oh man, we'll have to see what happens here as we go down into turn 3 and 4. And the wreck's going to happen here off of 4, and you're going to see it as we look at Chris Malcolm. And boom, there comes Chris Malcolm into the picture. And the incident had already happened with the 9 and the 50. And that's what got the 2 caught up in. So Chris Lawrence and John Gallagher kind of got into it. Look, the 9 had gotten to the outside wall. Just kind of bounced off it and caused that incident there. As Ryan Goodell, our leader, Kyle Speeds also all coming down the pit road as Nick Rader stays out.
Yeah, Zach, I think they saw how quick Nick was on those fresh tires and said, all right, I want me some of those. So they're going to come in here and put on 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods, as you like to say, and get back out here and see if they can charge back to the lead and see how much of a difference just a few laps on the tires. I think it's probably like 20 laps at this point. As looking at chat here on Facebook, we got Bill Cook from Newcastle, Indiana, joining us in the chat. How you doing, Bill? Ruben Phelps runs on Tuesday nights, had a strong run last night. How you doing, Ruben? And everybody else in the chat, yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. Much appreciated.
And man, so this is going to be interesting right here, man. It's going to be Nick's going to have a little bit older tires now. He couldn't come down this time. You know, if he comes down this time, he'd have one set of tires left for the rest of this race with, you know, really about 180 laps almost left in this race. That would have been pretty devastating to have that happen. You know, only have one set for that much, so he had no choice but to stay out. I believe John Gallagher also, he decided he did want to stay out too. And so that'll be interesting.
Now these guys that pit, you know, I'm sure they probably know at this point that that John he didn't pit at least this time, but I don't think they know that he hasn't pit yet all race. He's not going to be too bad starting on the outside. Hopefully his wheel spin's a bit better than what we've seen from the two so far this race. Just hope that he can keep it going, and these guys right behind him that just pit are going to be able to navigate his slower pace a little bit better than what we've seen once the leaders catch the back of the field with how slow they're going.
Yeah, that's a great thing to point out there, Kyle. Is he's actually going to start on the bottom here as the 29 elects to take the outside, so that's going to be where the two's was having trouble restarting on that bottom lane. So we'll have to see. It's going to be Goodell behind him. The 26 Robert Wood also in that lane, so they're going to have to be cautious here with these old tires in front of them in the 50 car. But I'll tell you what, that puts something in John Gallagher's back pocket if he can stay on the lead lap. That's his biggest goal, and catch a caution. He'll have an extra set of tires. Pace car takes that hard left turn, and we're going to go back. Green flag racing. It is out. Look at the 36 on it. Oh man, we have a little incident back in the back, but I think we're going to stay. Oh no, there's the caution immediately. And I believe that was for the around the 2 car of Christopher Wooder. I believe it was the 14 of Ace here, spinning the tires on the bottom lane on a restart, just like we were alluding to. So we'll go back here and check out the replay, as these gentlemen will have to get relined back up after that quick yellow. And here we look at the 14 of Ace, and I think he's going to have a little bit of wheel spin here coming off 4, and it's very easy to do in these 750 horsepower cup cars at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh, that's for sure. You know, I was watching John on the restart, and I saw a little bit of a wiggle, and he's managed his wheel spin a lot better than a lot of other guys tonight. But I think that was just a case of, you know, he was trying to catch up. He thought the field was going, realized they weren't hit the brakes, and then they went, and he's like, oh man, I gotta go, and then just hammered it down and lit up the wheels.
You know, that's really easy to do. As John Gallagher actually comes down this time, also with Christopher Lawrence in the 9 car, so also with, I believe, Shane Tierney in the 19. So 3 guys pitting here during this caution. But yeah, like you said, I think that was a case of he was going, he had to stop, and then he had to mat it back down. You know, because the other guys went as soon as he hits the brakes, you know, to slow down, and that can catch you out real quick. And another person who got caught up in that was Joaquin Meza in the 42, and that's unfortunate for him because he's been caught up in at least 2 or 3 incidences now in that 42 machine.
Yeah, unfortunately for Meza, you know, he didn't make any contact with any other cars. Brakes just locked up, old tires trying to, you know, stay out of the wreck, and happened to catch the inside wall. So probably take a fast repair here, I'd imagine. I think he's probably got 1 left. The incident earlier didn't look too bad for him, so he may not have needed to use 1 for that.
I believe he did, because I think he lost his nose on the very first incident too, so he may be down to his very last fast fix here, but we'll have to check that out as the race goes on. He may have saved it also and not put that nose back on, so it'll be interesting to see. As John Gallagher over here, we're looking at pull out his pits at that 50 machine, and he will have a, you know, like a restart fresher tires, I guess you could say. So not too much fresher, but I think you know, it's a good call for him to just go ahead and get it, especially if he hasn't came down and got any fuel yet. You know, he was going to be close on fuel here pretty soon. I'd probably say in the next 20 laps to pitting. So you know, it's better to come down, get some fuel, get some tires now, and give up that track position to be able to go longer.
Yeah, Zach, I mean, you tried a strategy there to stay out, and, you know, maybe save a set and takes advantage of these guys with more worn tires. didn't really work out, so best just go ahead and come down now, get back on the even playing field with these guys, and don't get caught out should they have a really long green flag run and end up laps down, because as we've seen throughout the week so far, it's really hard to get your lap back once you lose it.
Oh, that's for sure. It can be very, very tough here to get your lap back at Bristol sometimes. It just seems like something happens to somebody else, and then they go a lap down, they get in front of you, and then it's just a never-ending cycle sometimes here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, as these guys will pace down the back straight away for the final times as the pace car lights are out, and we'll head back to green flag racing here on lap 74 of 250 at Bristol Motor Speedway with the eNASCAR Outlaw League. See what happens here as that pace car pulls off to the left.
Green.
Kyle Speed's a little bit ahead. The 29 takes off. Great restart from the 29. The 26 of Robert Warder. Lots of wheel spin. That's going to let the top three break away a little bit here as the 29 has the 36 hot on his tail already. And then the 26 here will fall back into that fourth position with Christopher Lawrence in fifth. Going to have a battle here for the lead, I think, very soon.
Well, going back to that restart, wheel spin, it seems like it's a problem for everybody tonight. Old tires, fresh tires, doesn't matter. Everybody's having to manage the second.
Definitely is. Look, you're going to see the 29 just give it to him. The 36 to the outside takes the lead. Kyle Speed's back to the lead. Oh, as we have a caution. Looks like the 2 of Christopher Woodard. Oh man, it looks like, oh yeah, we'll have to go back and look at that. Unfortunate for Christopher Woodard to be involved in another incident here early in this race now. Ohio State's number 2 machine. We'll go back on the replay here.
Yeah, Buckeyes got some black guys tonight. It's disheartening for sure.
That is for sure. Might have to give them another one of the little stickers they put on their helmets.
Yeah, and have stick it on with a Band-Aid, man.
Yeah, you can see he just loses it coming out of 4 there on the inside of the 19 of Shane. And man, oh man, he just right into the inside wall. The rear end also takes a little hit too. And then knocks the back deck lid off the car. Oh, unfortunate for the 2. I believe he's going to have to take a fast repair this time. So, yeah, Christopher Woodard already 2 laps down here in the 10th position. He was running top 3 early in this race, qualified 3rd. So we know he's got good pace. He's just had a few little incidents here as we are back under caution at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
That was something that we had discussed pre-race, talking about what to expect tonight, and just coming off the bottom. When you try to get the power down as quickly as possible, because the guys on the high side have a slightly better run, you try to minimize that as much as possible. And just a little bit too much wheel into it to keep it off the fence, and around it goes. Really easy to do. Yeah, if he takes his fast repair here, be in pretty good shape. I don't know if I would personally. I don't think the damage would be that bad unless he's got some engine damage, Zach. But we'll see here shortly as he's coming down pit road now. Also, like to say hello to Jeff Vickery in the chat. How's it going, Jeff?
Thank you for everybody tuning in here tonight, as always. So, if you ain't hit that follow button yet on Facebook here, or hit that subscribe and or like button on YouTube, please, if you could, we would love to have that support here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting as these guys pace around here for the NASCAR Outlaw League. And back to Christopher Woodard, Brandon. The only thing I worry about his damage is he has no rear spoiler and no rear bumper now. So like that rear downforce is going to probably be a huge issue. And there he goes. He takes the fast repair, no tires, just that quick fix.
Well, the good news is that I think he still would have won. He had a little bit of contact earlier, but it didn't seem bad. So still not horrible to have to take one at this point, but having to take one in general, you're not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, that's for sure. You're going to have those in your back pocket. And like you said, he should still have another one still. So that will be very useful for him if he was to get caught up in something else that would require, major changes. So his goal now, get back on that lead lap as he's 2 laps down. He's going to be fighting Preston Michael here for that lucky dog position. Both of them 2 laps down, 10th and 11th. Yeah,
as we got Joaquin Meza back out. 7 laps down, opted, I guess, to just sit in pit road and fix some of that damage. He might be out of his fast repairs, but you never know if he can get back on the lead lap. Missing a nose like that might help keep the tires cool, pull a Truex, and might pull out a win.
Very, very true, man. Very true. As that pace car takes the hard left turn off, Kyle Speed's going to lead us back to green here on the bottom at 36. Elects to start there and does a great job getting going, and he's going to clear the 29 as the 44 Ryan Goodell says, now I want to slide back up to third. He's going to settle for that third position.
But from the looks of it, Zach, that was probably the most stable restart we've had so far. I didn't see any severe wiggles out of anyone in the field, really.
Yeah, everybody did a good job putting the power down that time. There was no jelly out there on the racetrack to slip them tires, and they did a good job there. So nice patience, and after a few of them restarts, you figure out what you can do and what you can't do. So these guys are learning as they go, and good on them.
And as we're watching here, Kyle Spees, this last time by, put down the fastest lap of the race with a 14.6.
Wow.
So he is flying. Early incident, and he bounced back from that in a hurry, and he still turned 14.6 as we have another caution.
It's like, oh, and Christopher Woodard. Oh no, he was involved with Preston Michael, I believe. So we'll go back here, check out this replay. Yeah, it definitely started with the 4 Preston Michael here as well. Replay with him. See what happens here to bring out our caution here. As he goes through 1 and 2, I believe he'll go down the back straightaway here, and then coming out of 4 here will be the incident. You'll see kind of 4 lose the rear end. Oh, you see him counter steering, 1 to go right, head on collision into the inside wall. That's going to bounce him back up on the racetrack right in front of the 2 of Christopher Order. And you're going to see the hit here in a second. Boom, there's the 2. Huge damage for the 2, huge damage for the 4. Both those drivers, major incident here at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, unfortunately, incident gets you caught in the back, and then have another one happen right in front of you with nowhere to go. So it's a bad break for him, but like we pointed out before, everybody that started tonight that's in the playoffs automatically transfers, so got a really good free pass on this one tonight, so I guess he'll take it one way or another.
Yeah, definitely. Both drivers being playoff guys, that could have hurt if Daryl Arnold and Matthew Gallagher were here, or Matthew Jagger was here. Sorry about that. And the 2 will have to take a fast repair, I believe, because his engine was smoking. So I haven't believe he has done it yet. So I guess maybe he's going to try to take some of the. Maybe there's some optional or a certain amount required, but yeah, lots of damage on that 2 car sitting on pit road now.
Well, Zach, I'm sure you can attest to this, that generally when you have some smoke coming from your engine, that's about a 30-minute required.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
If he's opting to fix it, I'm thinking that he might actually be out of fast repairs now.
Yeah, that's very possible too. He definitely could be. We have 2 here tonight, so he could have definitely used that second one earlier in this race, and then used the last one for that last caution. Is the front 2 up here like battling for the lead under caution.
Having some fun under caution laps, I guess. Get some racing in where you can.
That's for sure. As right now, at the moment, we have 9 cars on the lead lap. And the 10th place car is 4 laps down, Preston Michael. And then you also got Christopher Warder 5 laps down in 11th. So nobody in the lap down range. It's just mostly guys 4, 5, and 6 laps down here so far.
Well, I'm excited to see if Nick can really do much with Kyle here on this restart, seeing as how the 36 has been able to pull out to a monster lead. Although Nick does have, looks like 20 laps older tires, so if he can even hang with him at this point, I'll be very, very impressed, Zach.
Very, very true there, Brent. Very true. As that pace car takes the hard left turn off the racetrack, and we're back underway. Green 36, good restart, but also good restart for Ryan Goodell, our pole setter, back up a second now past Nick Rader. So good stuff. Let's see what this 44 and this 36 is got for each other, because I think this is the battle we're destined for tonight. That 36 or 44, the wind's gonna come through one of them two, I still believe here, unless something happens, because these two, man, their pace is super strong here tonight, and I can't wait to see who's gonna have the upper hand. Look at this, John Gallagher up to fourth down to 50. You got the 26 Robert Warder running fifth.
Yeah, Zach, I think you're right. Albeit a series of unfortunate events, I think Kyle and Ryan have got the first two spots locked down. Who finishes where, they're gonna have to decide amongst themselves, but I think everybody else is just racing for third tonight.
Yeah, these two are very, very strong. Nick also in the 29, looking strong for all them older tires. Like you said, he's 20 lap older tires. He's holding on to third right now, as Robert Warder is starting to close up on the 50, who's also closed up on the back of the 20 lap older tires of Nick Rader there in front of him. And see who can get around Nick the quickest here.
Well, looking at the lap times, they're running, the 50 and the 26 are running about a tenth or two quicker than Nick Rader currently, but that high side is just so good that even when you're that much faster, it's not easy to pass.
You're completely right, as now we're looking back at the 17 of Stephen Ford and that Fall Guys Camaro there, and that's number 17. And he's a little bit back from these guys battling up in front of him now, as the 50 does get by the 29 to move himself up in the fourth of or up in the third of John Gallagher. And now the 9 of Christopher Lawrence says, I want to have a piece at the 29.
Yeah, good little battle here. I think Nick's just going to try to run consistent times. I don't think he's going to try to fight them too hard to keep them from getting by, because he just lets out of it and lets them go, I think. You know, he knows he's going to be slower, and just maybe try to save a little bit and not have to use another set if there's a caution in 20 laps or so. Just take it easy. So he's got the right idea, I think.
Definitely does. As now Nick Rader slides back to that fifth position. He's getting a little pressure now from Robert Warder, and you can see from the 17 here, he's starting to close in a little bit on these two also. So we're about to have a battle here for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Well, as we mentioned, Zach, Stephen Ford and Ace in the, or no, excuse me, Shane in the 19, both pit on lap 88, so they currently have the freshest tires on the track, along with Christopher Lawrence. Excuse me, I missed him in the data. But Christopher Lawrence in 4th place, so he should be tracking down the leaders, but the 17 making good headway on his fresh tires as well.
Definitely is. He's starting to catch up to the back of the 29 here. You see him turn down off a 4, and the 29 to the wall, and the 17 tries to miss hard hit into the inside wall for the 17. He's going to keep it going, no caution out here on the racetrack. I believe he's going to bring it up pit road. That was a heavy hit on the driver's side of that car on the inside of that wall.
Yeah, and it's something we talked about before, where for some reason with this damage model, left side damage, even slight left side damage, it just kills the engine. So that was a bad break. We've seen that. I think this is the second time that we've seen an incident like that tonight, where a guy just misjudges a runoff from corner. Somebody has to check up in front of him, and there's contact, which leads to a slide. So hopefully he can rebound from this. It's still pretty early in the race, so he's got plenty of time.
Yes, sir. He does have plenty of time to get back from that. But the 44 here, Ryan Goodell, trying to navigate his way through lap traffic there as he gets by the 14 at Ace. And now Kyle Spees, oh wow, just barely getting by Chris Malcolm up front there. So 2.1 second lead here back to Ryan Goodell for Kyle Spees, running a 15:35 to Ryan Goodell's 15:58. So Kyle Spees is looking fantastic here on this run.
Yeah, we talked about how good he was on Monday, and how good he is normally just every week and every race that he runs in. Had a lot of bad luck, and hopefully he doesn't run into the same. He's had a couple close calls already, so if he can just keep it smooth and be patient, it shouldn't be much of a challenge for him tonight to get the win.
You're right, definitely. Hopefully Kyle Spees can keep the bad luck out of it tonight, as we've seen it bite him before for sure. and he will look to lap Joaquin Meze here. Put Joaquin 7 laps down here as he runs in the 11th position. Back here to Preston Michael. Now up here to Christopher Lawrence in the 9. He's about 8 seconds back from the leader. Running that 3rd position as he's gotten by John Gallagher and Robert Porter, so he's moved himself up pretty nicely up back into that 3rd position.
Yeah, them fresh tires paying dividends. 20 laps fresher. It's not. I mean, you can manage it and extend the life of that, and just make a lot of use out of the gap on tires. You don't have to run full every lap. Even if you only run a 10th quicker, it adds up really quickly.
Yeah, now we got something interesting. Nick Rader, who started 2nd on the restart, he's getting passed by Kyle Spees. He kind of squeezed him up into the wall. Ooh. Kyle Spees puts Nick Rader a lap down, but it wasn't very clean. He kind of got to the outside wall as Nick got really tight, and it kind of pushed Kyle way up the racetrack. That lets Ryan Goodell bring the lead down to only 1.4 seconds now as he tries to lap the 4. Looking at Robert Porter here in the 26.
Yeah, going back to the pass by Kyle Spees, probably not going to be too happy about that. Maybe have some words after the race about giving some room as a lap car, but that's for them to sort out afterwards in the hauler.
That's for sure. Definitely didn't help Kyle Spees' cause too much as he's trying to get by the 14, hits the wall, and but he brings the lead back up to a 3.1 second lead over Ryan Goodell, as Ryan had a little bit of trouble getting through the lap cars too. And that's one thing about this place, man. The lead is going to shift back and forth due to just lap traffic. Lap traffic here is really crazy.
Yeah, and I was just about to bring up, Zach, that it seems like the way that this race is going, you're not racing so much the guys that are right around you for position. You're racing the lap cars. I mean, you have to pay more attention to them really than the guy that's trying to catch you for position or the guy that you're trying to catch for position.
Definitely very true there. As now we look at Ryan Goodell here, running in 2nd position. Looks like he's a little bit quicker right now, running 15.69 to Kyle Speed's 15.71. So.
Well, and it might just be that Kyle is a bit more aggressive trying to navigate the lap traffic, so when he can get a group of cars between he and Ryan, it might just benefit him, whereas Ryan may be good in open track, just outright speed.
I think you're pretty spot on there as Ryan Goodell continues to crunch into that lead, about 2/10 every lap. Now as we look back at John Gallagher, about last car on the lead lap here, 12.7 behind the leader, and he's going to have to try to hang on to the lead lap here if he can.
You see one car pull down to the apron, just wave Kyle on by, and another one there. So these guys are being a bit more cordial to the leaders, and you really don't want to be a guy that's a little bit off pace, some laps down. You don't want to be that guy that takes out the leader. So doing all they can to avoid that, I think.
I definitely agree with you there. Guys are doing a good job of getting out of the way of the leader there, and it's really when you catch them racing that you have the biggest issue. And Ryan Goodell, though, continuing to put down quick lap time after quick lap time. Like I said earlier, I think he really went. He doesn't run that first 20, 30 laps too hard. It seems like he really paces himself, and he's going to try to get by the lap car of Preston Michael there. And yeah, he's about 2.1 seconds back now, and it used to be 3.4 at one point. So he is definitely seeing that 36 get bigger and bigger in his windshield.
Yeah, and he's running only 1/10 to 2/10 quicker every lap. But as long as they stay green, it's only a matter of time. He was 3/10 quicker nearly that last time by. So he's definitely plucking off some good lap times here and just slowly reeling them in.
Definitely has, and we'll see this time by. Yeah, they're another 3/10, or about 2 that time actually. So yeah, 2 to 3/10 every lap. He'll be there pretty quickly, especially now as he's catching lead lap cars. He's catching the 50 and the 29. It was 29 to 1 lap down, but the 50 is on the lead lap still here in 5th. Oh, and Kyle Speed splits him, and you can see up in front of you there on the front bumper cam of Ryan Goodell. He got a first-class shot at that thing.
Well, and you mentioned Kyle has caught the 50 and the 29. He, the closer you get to the front, and he's just lapping these guys, you know, closer to the top 5. The closer you get to the front, the more at pace that these guys are going to be with you, and the harder those passes are going to be, and it's just allowed Ryan to catch up even more.
That it has 1.5 seconds behind now in that second place position. Is looks like Kyle Speeds will lap Robert Warner in that 4th position. So 3 cars on the lead lap now, and not far up to Christopher Lawrence, as these front 2 are setting a wicked pace here tonight.
Yeah, even in traffic, still plucking off, you know, near 16 flats. Kyle Speeds 16.3 to Ryan Goodell 16.1 that last time by. So even in lap traffic, they're still amazingly fast.
That's for sure. Because actually Ryan lost a little bit of time. I think you're right about it. I think Ryan's a little more cautious through the lap traffic, like you brought up earlier, Brandon, because it seems like when they do get the lap traffic, Kyle is able to navigate them a little bit quicker and a little bit more aggressive.
You know, and I think that's probably going to help him in the long run. Don't take too many chances. You know, you're running second. Open track speed, you know, you're faster. So there's no real need to, you know, dive bomb any of these lap guys and put yourself in a bad spot to potentially end up getting wrecked and maybe ruin your chances of winning altogether. So I like his play, and he's definitely been able to make short work of him and even into that gap once there's that open track between them.
Yeah, he's done a great job now. He's getting the Christopher Lawrence's outside here, but the problem is he's behind the 42 of Joaquin Mez. He's got to be smart here.
And Meza still has that nose damage, so he's a little bit off. I don't know if his engine's hurt, but it looks like he's doing okay on the high side. So he should be able to get navigated pretty quickly to go down another lap. This Kyle Speeds goes right on by.
Yeah, and Ryan Goodell is almost a second faster that last lap due to the traffic, but now he's going to have to navigate through his right on board with him. Because the inside of Christopher Lawrence in that 9, that's a 3rd place position in the second here. Getting ready to put him a lap down.
Well, you know, Zach, it's almost an advantage to be the second car going through the lap traffic because the leader makes the hole through the cars. All you've got to do is just follow him through.
You're completely right about that, Kyle. Very good point there. You know, it's a lot easier to follow somebody through a hole than to make the hole a lot of times. So, like you said there, Ryan Goodell, it just seems like Ryan's a little bit more cautious though to me. He loses time every time they get in that big pack. But I mean, right now he's going to be within 1.5 seconds. They're going to have pretty clear racetrack for a little bit here. Let's see what kind of lap times that Ryan can put down and see who has tire left. That's 1.4 second lead now for Kyle Speeds.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, there's a lot of open track now. I think, you know, there's nobody left for them to really catch, saving somebody coming out of the pit road for half a track. So he's got a lot of time to put down some quick laps here and close that gap even more.
Yeah, and there he goes again, 2/10 quicker. He's just, dude, he's so quick once they get clear track.
It just seems like Ryan's got a really good rhythm when he doesn't have to worry about, you know, being in a certain lane to avoid a lap car. Running by himself, he's just in his comfort zone. It doesn't look like he's pushing it too hard, really struggling off the corner. Don't see him wheeling it. It's just smooth laps.
Oh, and unfortunately, we see here Nick Rader will actually bring it behind the wall in that 7th position. So he's decided to bring her behind the wall. As we look here at the 6th place car, Shane Tierney, who is 2 laps down in the 19 machine, burning it in the 6th position. As these front 2, man, I'm telling you, they are turning laps up to a half a second to almost a second quicker than the rest of the field.
Yeah, they're putting on a clinic. You know, it really makes me sad now that Paul didn't make it. Because, man, these 3 that battling it out would have been a instant classic for as good a show as Ryan and Kyle are putting on the night. Throw Paul in the mix, man, it would have been crazy. And I'd like to say hello to Cedric out there, and speak of the devil, Paul Henley in chat, yesterday's winner. So how you guys doing out there?
Yeah, and look at this now. Like you said, Ryan's catching him. Shout out to everybody out there viewing. Thank you for supporting Freaky Fast broadcasts as we watch. You're going to watch some Bristol Motor Speedway action here as these front two are going to go at it. Like I said, I've been waiting for this moment. You know, we haven't really got to see it yet, but Ryan is there, and we will see what he can do. It's going to be tough to pass though, because you know the lap times they're running right now, as slow as they are, I think he's going to need to use some lap traffic possibly to help too, as they get by the 41 and Chris Malcolm.
That's exactly right, Zach. It's exactly what I was thinking. You know, if I was Ryan, I'd be trying to get close to Kyle and just stay right on his bumper, mirror him, and see if he can get caught up and have to check up for some lap traffic and make your move then. That's probably going to be your best chance to make a pass here.
Very, very correct. As we're looking at Kyle Spees dominating here at Bristol here tonight at 36, but now looking to the picture, he says, I want a little domination, as I said on the pole, and that 44 machine. And personally, week in and week out, Brandon, I know you haven't done the Cup Series as much with us. Week in and week out, that 44 man is just, he's one to beat. He is there every single week, top 3, top 2, you know, just clicking off great lap times, and he always seems patient and just really methodical. And I think that's what we're seeing from him again tonight.
Well, you know, some guys are just... I've always said that it's easier to learn to be aggressive than it is to learn to be patient. And I've always favored the drivers that are just naturally patient. They seem to be able to just find good finishes without being super fast all race. But if you can just be super fast all race and be patient, Ryan Goodell, classic example of that. You just be up front and leading laps and star of the show, you know, contending for wins every week, and ideally as a race car driver, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, and also Paul brings up a great point. I mean, if you're Ryan here, you can sit back and just save your stuff a little bit, because you know the 36 is starting to feel the pressure as they lap the 19. The 19 is Shane there to put him 3 laps down, and you know he's feeling the pressure now with that 44 that big in his mirror, and that could even push him harder to burn his tires up.
And that's very true. You don't really have to do much as the guy running second to force a mistake from the guy ahead of you. Just being there, and you know, like any second now, if you mess up, I'm right here to pass you. You'll force it really quick without even really having to show your nose. So, especially with lap traffic, I'm really impressed with how well Kyle's been able to run. He hasn't bobbled or anything, and been pretty consistent. So he's making it difficult for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. As these two continue to put on a clinic here, and you can see a little bit different lines here. This is so fun to watch off the nose cam too of this 44 here as he drives it in on the outside line. Can he get the one off here? I believe he had to actually back out of there. Luckily he was about to hit the wall, so he drove in there pretty deep. I think he was trying to get to the outside of 36, but here this is where it opens up an opportunity. Also some lap traffic to 26 of Robert Wood to 42 of Joaquin Meza in front of these two.
And it looked like Ryan just had to check up again, coming out of the corner. I don't know if maybe he's just been a bit aggressive in the open track to where he can't quite get the car to turn off the corner like he wants it right now.
And he is all over it, right on the back bumper of Kyle Spees, at 44 Mustang. He's definitely making it known he is there, ready to contend for this win. As still a long time to go in this race. I mean, we're under 100 to go now, but the fact is a lot of stuff can happen here, and it can still reach up and bite you. So I think, you know, if you're Ryan, you got to still be smart about how you make this pass. Don't want to make no enemies here for later in the race.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the good thing is that, like we talked about before, nobody's at risk of getting knocked out. So even if there is contact for the lead, and it ends up bad for somebody, everybody's moving on. So tempers might be a little bit sated by that, but still nobody wants to get wrecked for a win. So I just think he's going to size him up here and take as much time as possible. He knows he's still got a lot of laps left.
Yeah, a lot of laps left in this race still. No reason to force the issue. I think like Paul was saying, just got to keep the pressure on. And you know, the thing is, you know, he made a throw in the 36 into the 41. That's gonna give the 44 a pretty big run here. I don't think he's gonna capitalize on it though.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ryan lost a little bit of time out of the previous set of corners and just couldn't keep with him to be able to capitalize on that. But he's making a run of it now.
Trying to get to the outside. There it is. He gave up the outside line. 44 is going to take it, and that's 2 to lead for the 44. Ryan Goodell. Kyle Speeds back to second. What a race. And man, oh man, yeah, and also got some damage on the nose of that 36. Oh, and the 36 is pitting here. Interesting call.
Well, we did see, I heard the 19 called that he was pitting a little while ago. And it may have put him down on power and just preemptively trying to fix that.
Oh,
So
here comes
green
Goodell.
green flag should be coming up pretty soon. As we see Goodell coming in. So it's not actually awful for him. He should have a faster repair left. He hasn't been involved in very much. And Goodell just trying to offset that undercut by a little bit.
Now, what is super interesting is this is their second set of tires. They'll have one more set in the pits, but I do not believe these guys will be able to go to the end of this race. I believe they're still going to need one more stop, especially for fuel.
For fuel, I think you'll. If there were more people on the lead lap, once this all cycles around, we've got Gallagher and Lawrence that have cycled back since Kyle and Ryan have pit. If there were more people on the lead lap, I think I'd stretch it because I think it's close. But I'm pretty sure I'd see them back on pit road just to be absolutely sure that they can make it. So I believe you're correct, Zach. I think they'll have to come back down at least one more time.
Yeah, that pushed John Gallagher up into the lead now, and also Kyle Speed's pitting that one lap earlier. He came out a good bit ahead of Ryan Goodell, I believe, about 2.4 seconds ahead. And we'll have to see how that battle progresses as we look here at the 50 leading this field, about 12 seconds ahead of Kyle Speeds.
Well, Zach, he's 12 seconds ahead, but he's running 2 seconds a lap slower. So 12 seconds is not going to last very long.
6 laps, you should be there. And I think, well, I mean, the thing is, though, can John Gallagher, though, play this right to where he can make it over? Because remember, he pitted later than these guys. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, he's went almost 100 laps on this, but we've had cautions to help. So I'm thinking he's going to be close to making it, I think. I'm pretty sure it's about 85 laps to, you know, in that ballpark, to maybe even 90 laps. So it's going to be tough for the other guys. I think the other guys barely are within the window, but we'll have to pay attention to fuel. And John Gallagher right now is leader on lap 175.
It's a very interesting point, Zach, that looking at his last pit lap. If he pits now, and now he doesn't need to.
Caution. That is huge for John Gallagher. Because first of all, these guys are not going to be able to pit and take their last set of tires. That would be not a good idea. John Gallagher's going to come down and take his second to last set of tires, and he's on a little bit fresher tires now than these guys, and more fuel.
Yeah, it's not a lot more fuel, but it could be enough just to make it to the end. I think through this pit stop here, I think you'll see Kyle and Ryan both come in and top off. That's what I would do. You'll have nobody else, it looks like, going to be on the lead lap, so it'll still be the 3 of them. Somebody will get the lucky dog and end up 1 lap down still, but even if they take the wave around, everybody else takes the wave around, nobody else will be on the lead lap except for the top of the top.
Yeah, there goes John Gallagher down the pit road, but when we look back at the replay, Chris Malcolm was involved in that yellow and the 41 with the number 9, I believe, also Christian Lawrence. And yeah, Chris Malcolm spinning around that 41. Now we'll bring out the caution here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And man, oh man, we've got a heck of a race left here for us. As Christopher Woodard brings it behind the wall, 92 laps down in 13th position.
Yeah, we've got, 70 laps to go, 80 laps to go, something like that. That last run, was setting up, I think, for exactly what we're going to see at the finish here. You know, Kyle and Ryan are just, one's got a lot of short run speed, and the other seems to have a lot of long run speed. One's good in traffic, one's good in open track. It's all gonna come down to those particular set of circumstances, and when they, which one happens at the end of the race as to who's gonna win this thing.
Definitely, and getting some word out there on the chat. Paul Hinley says they could go 85 laps in the trucks last night at 6% fuel, so I imagine the Cup cars are right around that range. These guys pitted right around 80 to go, so they should be good then. But the thing, this also puts John Gallagher with a little bit fresher tires, pitting about 10 laps later. So John Gallagher played that perfectly, personally.
Yeah, it could not have worked out any better for John Gallagher. Got him back on the lead lap, and now he doesn't have to fight anybody for position. He can just ride around in third. He doesn't necessarily have the pace that the Kyle and Ryan had earlier. But third place, even if it just goes green from here, he's in a pretty good spot to just get a really good finish, and got lucky with that caution.
Yeah, and you also got fourth, 1 lap down, and fifth on back is 4 laps down or more. So you're looking at a pretty good finish here tonight if you can just hold on to this thing in these final 70 laps.
Yeah, I'm questioning Kyle and Ryan as to why they didn't come in and top off. Because now, if it goes green, I think John Gallagher, it's his race to lose. I don't know if these caution laps are going to allow them to save enough to make it, especially since they were running 10 laps or so before that caution came out.
Green flag, green flag.
It should be close. With the green flag back out now, 36 will lead us off into 1. Remember, Ryan Goodell on the 1 lap fresher tires, he's going to fight back on the outside. He says, I want to lead this race. Down in the 3 and 4 side by side. Great race.
Zach, honestly, I think that's the best restart we have seen from the front row all race. Normally, the leader just checks out and right off the get-go, and second has to battle with third, but Ryan kept right with him. I'm very impressed with that restart by Ryan Goodell.
Definitely so, as John Gallagher now running in third position at 50. Got Christopher Lawrence 4 laps down right behind him. And it seems like John Gallagher took some repair under caution there, because his pit stop was longer. So could be interesting to see how that plays out for the 50 as these front two still going at it.
Yeah, I know he was involved in one incident earlier, Zach. I don't know how much damage he's gotten since that caution, but he does have some damage on the nose. He may have one left, but it may not be severe enough that he's wanting to save that for the end in case something really bad happens, like we saw happen with Christopher Woodard, where he got some engine damage, and I like that play. I really wouldn't want to use it for anything other than suspension or engine damage.
Yeah, I completely agree there. You don't want to just, for 30, 40 seconds of damage, you don't want to waste that fast repair. There's really no point in that when you could just fix that on pit road, and I think that's what you've seen there. So maybe he's got one still in the bank, and just in case, because if anything happens, I think he's going to hold on to a top 3 position. And I think these front two can make it, Brandon. From last night, them going 85 laps in the truck, they pitted with 80 to go. I believe they'll make it, but it's going to be close. Like, if we get some green light checkers, that could play an issue, but the caution should help out. That caution was out.
Yeah, Zach, I mean, they would know better than me sitting up here in the booth as to whether or not they could make it all the way, but if I was questioning it, I would have come down just to be absolutely sure, because I'm positive John Gallagher can make it.
Oh, for sure. John Gallagher is good to go for sure in our book. At least the thing is also, if something happens between this 44 and this 36, John Gallagher sits in the best position to, clean it all up.
And it goes to show, we talk about it every week. You don't have to be the fastest. A lot of times it's just playing your cards right and being in the right place at the right time. So, you know, you can go ahead and start on the pole, lead 149 or 249 out of 250 laps. But if you don't lead that 250th lap, the rest of it really doesn't matter much.
You're completely right about that. It comes down to really the nitty-gritty of who can survive this place. This place is not a place that it's all about speed. Yeah, that speed is going to help you, but if that speed ends up on pit road, it's not going to. So we're going to see how it plays out here the rest of this race. We'll be nearing 50 to go here in the next 5 laps. These front two continue to run bumper to bumper, and it's interesting this time because Kyle Speeds, remember, he got out front, pulled that big lead away. I wonder if he's trying to set up where he can save a little bit this time.
Well, you know, we talked about Ryan being quicker in the open track, but Kyle really hasn't let him get away. He may be sitting back a little bit now. You saw that earlier run and how quickly Ryan was able to catch him once they got past the lap cars, and he's just shadowing, maybe learning something.
That's always a good thing too. You know, riding behind your competition, you can learn a few things just riding behind him, saying, okay, that's where he's good at. Now, how does he do that? You know, you can sit here and gather a little intel, and you never know. It could come out to play out in your favor here very soon.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, you know, you don't like to be in second. If you're close enough to the lead, you want to lead, but it definitely helps to just sit behind the guy and go into the corner and be like, okay, I lost, you know, half a car length into the corner. Oh, look, I gained, you know, almost a whole car length out of the corner. You know, why'd that happen? So, sizing it up, you know, he just only has to get by him for 1 lap, and that's the last one. So take all the time, learn all the things you can right now.
Definitely is a learning phase of this race as we're under 50 to go. Ryan Goodell is starting to actually put a little bit of a gap here now on that 36. As that 36 pushing hard to stay within reach of this lead.
And that's really something that's easy to do. You know, when you're sitting behind somebody, you try different lines just to see what'll happen, and you see yourself backing up, you know, getting farther away from them, you start panicking. You're like, man, I gotta get it back, overdrive. Super easy to do. If you're fast enough to keep up with them, just go back to running what you were doing when you were keeping up with them, and you'll catch them in time. You know, you don't have to gain it all back at once.
Very good point there. Yeah, there's no reason to burn your stuff up too this early, and like, you know, they still have 1 set of tires, so you know, if they do get a caution, I imagine the guys will pit at 36 into the wall there. You see, so he is pushing pretty hard here to try to keep up that 44 now.
And you know, with having 1 extra set, I don't know if I'm banking on a caution here. If I'm just thinking, you know what, I've got another set, let's just go as hard as we can, get the most out of this set, and get to the end, and then do the same with that set. It's really risky, especially if you don't get the caution, because you're not going to be able to catch the guy again. But lucky for Kyle, if he decides to go that route, he doesn't have anybody behind him that he's racing for position. So no matter what, at this point, he's looking like he's going to finish second. So why not go ahead and do that?
You're very correct. And you know, with all those cars lap down, you know, it won't, you know, you won't lose too much track position, or none at all, really. You know, I got to point something out that's crazy. You know, we had John Gallagher running in the top 3. He fell through on input, so that his internet connection just went out for John Gallagher. He is going to be out of this race. 7 laps already down. Now Robert Woodard has moved into the podium position, 1 lap down in that 26 machine, and he's got about a 3-lap gap to Christopher Lawrence. So if he can hold on these last 50 laps, he will get himself a podium and have some nice momentum going into Dover next week.
That's for sure. You know, not having a really good night, not feeling comfortable with the car, really happy with the way that it's going. We got Kyle into the wall, and he smacks the inside wall.
Oh, man.
Looks like we'll have a caution here.
He's going to have a caution, yeah. Oh, the 41 hits him. Yeah, look, Kyle was just being a little bit desperate there, pushing a little bit harder than he probably needed to, and got into the outside wall. And like you said, Kyle, no reason to make mistakes here. You know, you're running so good. probably locked up for a top 3 position. A few more of those mistakes, and you never know what could happen here. As we're looking back on the replay.
Yeah, just trying to get a little bit too much out of it. You know, I understand. It's really easy to sit up here and see, you know, oh, well, this is what these guys should do. But in the car, man, you just all you're focused on is winning. That's it.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
he's
you're
pushing for it.
right. There is one thought in each driver's brain: how do I win this race? So I completely agree with you there, man. That's for sure. As you see right there, the 36 into the inside wall, up into the outside wall, and then you'll see the 41 coming here to the picture, and boom, we'll scrape by. So, thing is, he's not gonna lose any track position though. He should restart second, and I believe he has to Ryan Goodell and Kyle Speeds both come down, get their last set of tires. Pretty smart move. I think you're not gonna pit after this point, boys.
Probably not. There's not real reason to not come in and try to save that for later, because there is only, you know, 3 cars on the lead lap now, as Robert Woodard got the wave around.
Very true.
And if it does go green, yeah, you're not really going to lose too much positions, but you're definitely not going to have a chance to win. So pretty smart here to keep it even.
And what'll be interesting here is if this could play out where Robert Woodard could, you know, he gets the lucky dog, he gets on the lead lap. They run a few laps here, maybe 10, 20 laps, and then the caution comes out, and say Robert Woodard has an extra set of tires, then things can get real crazy, real quick.
Yeah, and again, you just put yourself in a good position. Keep plucking away, and sometimes fate just hands you one, you know? Unfortunately for John Gallagher, sometimes when it's not your night, doesn't matter what you do, it's just not your night, and the racing gods aren't with you.
Yeah, it's always tough when they aren't with you. But looks like Robert Woodard's actually going to come down pit road now, too. So he's going to come down here. I think he's going to get his final set of tires, possibly. I mean, for him, I personally would... I'd play it where I would take it, you know, because, I mean, you know, it's worth a shot, I feel like, to, you know, save that set, and then if you get a caution, you never know what could happen.
I completely agree. You know, if you've been struggling to even just stay on the lead lap for most of the night, like a lot of these guys have with the pace that Ryan and Kyle are setting, you find yourself in a position like this, and you've got a set of tires where they don't, you throw the Hail Mary. You don't take them and bank on that lead caution and hope that you can steal this one.
Well, he takes his fast pair and his last set of tires, I believe. So he's deciding he wants to stay on the lead lap. Maybe these guys have an issue up in front of them. You never know. That could also be the play. And we'll have to see here, though, before they go back green flag racing here tonight. And the pace car's pulling off right now, too.
Oh.
So green flag is back out. The field was all spread out.
And I think he may be getting a penalty, Zach.
Very possible.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, but I believe I saw him come up onto the track before he got past the blend line.
Yeah. And did he go down both pit roads? Because you have to go down both pit roads here, and that's always interesting to see. But yeah, penalty for Robert Woodard. Look at him coming down pit road here, guys. Wow.
And that completely throws all of that out the window. Like, man, that's...
And
Bristol just wants to see Ryan and Kyle. They don't care about anybody else tonight. They're
like, get out of here.
Anybody else that shows up, they're just smacking them on the head. Get back in.
And the thing that's something interesting now is Robert might go multiple laps down here, and that could give Christopher Lawrence a shot here in the top 3 now. So a simple mistake like that.
I believe that's going to be, you know, a 20-second stop. Not to mention the long way around pit road here. So he'll probably go like 6 laps down at this point. Oh, quick stop and go. Okay, ooh, lucky for him.
But he's still going to be, I mean, it's going to be close between the two.
And Here comes the 9.
That's the battle for third. Got a battle for the lead, a battle for third now too.
Yeah, it's our producers pointing out to us. It's unfortunate for Christopher that he found somebody on his lap now, but Robert has a severe tire advantage, so it's not much of a battle at this point.
Very, very true there. As you can see, the 26 started to pull away now. Look up front. The 36 putting the pressure on the 44. 26 to go here at Bristol. We're about to see some crazy action here play out in these final 26 laps.
Yeah, tire savings out the window. So, you know, you're on your last set. You only have less than 30 to go when they restarted. So, go for it. Burn them down and see what you can get at this point. As we got 44 looking a little loose, going into 3 there. Good job getting around Meza. They're both navigating this lap traffic perfectly, just staying right in step with each other.
Yes, they are. Kyle Speed's trying not to let him get away like he did last time. I think he needs to get ahead of him. That's going to be the key here. It seems like as the run goes on, Ryan Goodell is just stronger overall. So I think Kyle Speed needs to attack now while he has the pace.
Yeah, Zach, even on even tires, just that high line, that's the advantage. Just being ahead is such an advantage. And lucky for Ryan, he ended up ahead after that restart. And it's just an uphill battle here to try to figure out a way to get the position.
That is very tough to pass on that bottom lane. I mean, if he puts the pressure on Ryan, you never know. Ryan can get up into the fence as close as they're running now. They're really pushing the edges of that top lane.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can force a mistake, you know, he's getting in. I've been watching the whole race and his approach to entering these corners, and he gets so close to the wall with the right rear, and a lot of times just taps it to help set the car, and he takes off again. You see, he's found a lot of speed doing it, but all it takes is one mistake, and you're just stuck in that fence as the guy's going around you and taking that checkered flag.
Yes, sir. That's how it works here at Bristol. As we right on the front bumper. The 36 of Kyle Speeds with 19 to go here, or 18 here to go at Bristol, and they're navigating lap traffic. There's the 9 car, Christian Lawrence, in the 4th position. Can the 36 get the run? He has a decent run here, going off of 4, all over the back bumper of the 44.
I mean, they're identical speeds at this point. Up until that corner entry, nobody was really gaining or losing through the corner. These guys are so even right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it seems like Ryan's just running that super high line too. He's pushed the boundaries of entry, everything on this line, and he is really, really used up the whole racetrack.
Now, unfortunately for Kyle, the line that he's trying to run, you know, he has to almost give up time into the corner just to be able to slow it down and, you know, pull down once you hit the center off to really diamond and get a good run off. So it's kind of evening itself out with how much he's having to give up with versus how much he gains.
It definitely is. I mean, he's doing a good job running that low line. He's going to move up a little bit higher here and try to follow the full forward in their tracks. But it's definitely interesting to see different lines. That's one thing I love about Bristol.
And he's running only, you know, not even a car width down. I think the problem is just with how aggressive he's making that cut. He's going to burn up the right front, and I don't think he's just going to have it to be able to complete the pass if he can finally get side by side.
He's definitely putting the pressure on though, man. If Ryan slips up past some of these lap cars, the 36 is going to be there to pounce.
Oh, that's for sure. He's definitely keeping his mirror full, letting them know, hey, go ahead and mess up one time.
That's all I need. That's all I need. As we're on 10 laps to go at Bristol for the eNASCAR Outlaw League. It's been the Ryan and Kyle show here, and man, these guys, they've been going at it this whole race now.
and still putting down, you know, 15.3, almost identical laps. Ryan's 15.3 flat to Kyle's 15.32 last time by. So, nope, that little bit of checkup there from Ryan. Open the door.
Yeah, 36 is going to be on the inside here on entry. Can't make it stick. It's going to be hard. He's getting good runs off for that bottom. Not enough, but he's there. It seems like he can just turn down the racetrack once he runs that higher line a little bit better than Ryan is. And if he can do that with a lap car that's caught up high or something, it'll be interesting. You see Ryan gets up a little high, and then that lets the 36 cut down onto the bottom of the racetrack on the exit. It seems to be working pretty well.
It's just enough to get a run, but it's just not quite enough to really get good position to make the passes. You know, we got Ryan, he caught the fence, but it really didn't do much to him. He's just skimming it.
That he did. 5 laps to go here. The NASCAR Outlaw League. Let's see what happens here. This is about to be elbows out.
Yeah, elbows out. We got lap traffic ahead of them. We'll see if it comes into play with 5 laps to go.
This would be great momentum for 44 Ryan Goodell, who's ran top 2 really the past, I'd say 4 or 5 races here at the Cup Series. This would be great momentum to carry for him into Dover in that top 6 playoff position. This would be a great comeback for Kyle Spees, who was not able to make it to the top 8. 3 to go here at Bristol. Who's going to win it? We'll see here.
Now the question is, does Kyle get close enough to use the bumper and get him out of shape? You know, that's definitely a viable strategy here at Bristol to, you know, just get by somebody for a win. We saw it on Monday. We'll see if it happens here.
That it did happen. 2 to go. Ryan trying to put enough space in between him and that 36. There's a couple car widths. All the 36 bounces off the wall, but they're going to take the white flag. 36 got a pretty decent run. He's going to be within a car length. He gets up pretty close to that 44. Here we go, down the back straight away from the last time, final time tonight. Does the 36 sell it off in there? I don't think they'll be able to get to him. The 44 of Ryan Goodell is your winner here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Really good show by these guys. That was an amazing race to lap everybody but just the 2 of them. Fantastic Bristol race.
Wow, what a race there, guys, between the 2. You got Robert Woodard coming home in that 3rd position to get on the podium, 3 laps down after that penalty. So good job to hang on to the podium after that penalty. And we're about to watch Ryan burn him down. Hopefully.
Or not.
He might be saving those tires for Dover next week, you know. Tires are expensive, man.
Oh, very true, very true. All right, well, as he celebrates his victory here, just sitting in his car, we will be right back to get everybody ready for post-race interview here. So stay tuned, and we'll be back within 2 minutes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Bristol Motor Speedway at the NASCAR Outlaw League, and we're going to get a talking with our podium finishers here tonight. And first, we'll get a talking here with Robert Woodard, bringing it home to that 3rd position, 3 laps down. Hey, Robert, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, man. Well, didn't have the pace of the top 2 guys tonight, but I tell you what, man, you did everything you could to get to that top 2 position, having that late penalty even. And you were able to bounce back there and still hang on to that 3rd place position. How was the race for you tonight?
It wasn't too bad. It was a little bumpy in the beginning, but kept it going.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that was a good job there to keep yourself into the race all night. You know, it was really a battle of attrition with a lot of guys, you know, getting taken out by stuff. Was that kind of your goal, to stay out of trouble and just see what you could get out of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like our tire set, I was trying to run about 70 a set, and then stay out of trouble.
Awesome, Robert. Well, you did a good job staying out of trouble here tonight at Bristol, man. Before we let you go and go on to Dover next week, anybody want to finish out to?
To you guys, I'm gonna thank y'all for what y'all do. And Chris, you know, putting on the league, DJ and Meza for all the help they do. That's about it.
Awesome, Robert. Well, man, congrats on third tonight, man, and we will catch you next week in Dover.
Thank you.
All right, that was Robert Order. They're finishing in third place tonight at 26 machine. We do not have Kyle Spees up in the booth, as he's made an exit straight to his hauler here tonight, and we will get a talk in with our race winner, though, Ryan Goodell. Hey, Ryan, is Zach in the booth, man? You got a copy?
I do. Hey, Zach, how are you?
Doing good, Ryan. Glad to see you up here again, man, in the top 3 finishers. But one place better again here tonight after finishing second in Atlanta. How was Bristol tonight, man?
It was all right. Kyle was obviously super fast. I think the only difference with us was on that second to last restart. He chose the inside, and I knew as long as I was able to get alongside him, I was probably going to have an opportunity to stick with him, and was able to make the pass and obviously hold him off for the win. This place is just so hard to pass.
Oh, it definitely is. We've seen it all night. You two were going at it, man, and making that pass is very tough. You may be quicker sometimes, but making that pass on the bottom or trying to get to the outside when a person, you know, the preferred line is up there, it's tough to get that from somebody. But you did an excellent job all night, Ryan. You guys battling up front there. And you were able to bring it home here in the top 6 in the playoffs with 2 drivers missing tonight. So not much pressure here tonight, luckily at Bristol. So you can go here and have some fun. But next week at Dover, I'm sure the pressure's going to be on to make it into that top 4 for Homestead next week. How do you feel about Dover?
I like Dover compared to Bristol. If you remember, I told you Bristol is not one of my favorite tracks, and really because it's so hard to pass. You really got, 5 laps at the start of the run, and then you really got to make sure that you probably got 40 or 50 laps on your tires before you can really try to make a pass on the bottom. Dover's a little different. You can actually kind of get runs, especially with this package. So like that a little bit more. Hopefully we'll be able to salvage the top 5 next week and go to Homestead.
Awesome, man. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to talk to you again up here. A great victory here again at the Bristol Motor Speedway for you tonight. Before we let you go, as always, anybody wants to shout to?
Yeah, Nick Rader, he's been having some bad luck in our races recently, but appreciate him because I practiced with him. Same with Matt Jaggard. Matt wasn't able to make the race tonight. He's a little bit under the weather, so I hope he's feeling better. And then obviously the 10/15 deadline is coming up, so if anybody needs to get their taxes filed or has any questions on getting their taxes filed, keep me in mind. Ryan Goodell, CJBS. Thanks, Zach. Have a good week.
You too, Ryan, buddy, and we'll catch you at Dover next week. Congrats.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, that was our race winner, Ryan Goodell, here tonight, bringing home the victory over Kyle Spees of over only 0.2 of a second. So, great race here, 250 laps at Bristol. Man, what exciting race we had here tonight.
Yeah, classic Bristol race. A lot of bent-up cars and maybe a bit of bent-up tempers as well, but fast guys are the guys that are consistently fast at any other track. You'll normally see them up at the front here. And it's just people seem to be able to figure this track out pretty well. And, tracks where it's difficult to pass, you normally have a lot of action side by side. And just trying and a bit of contact never hurt anybody.
Definitely, for sure. And we will move into our official results here tonight from the NASCAR Outlaw League Cup Series from Bristol Motor Speedway, as we've had 3 nights in a row of Bristol action. It's been great here. And rounding out your official results here tonight, Ryan Goodell will take the victory over Kyle Spees, finishing at 2nd position. 3rd place will go to Robert Porter. 4th is Christopher L. Lawrence. 5th, Shane Tierney. 6th, Joaquin Meza. 7th is John Gallagher. 8th, Chris Malcolm. 8th, Steerwin. In 9th, 10th is Preston Michael. 11th, Nick Rader. 12th, Stephen Ford. 13th, Christopher Woodard. And rounding out your field is 14th of Matthew Violet. That's your official results here tonight for Bristol Motor Speedway from NASCAR Outlaw.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in out there tonight. Thank you, Brandon and Zach, for the awesome action calling here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway up here at the booth at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. If you're on the Facebook side of things, don't forget to hit that like and follow and share button. And if you're over on the YouTube side, you can also hit that like, and you can share it to your favorite social media platform. And we much appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But guys, we are off the next 2 nights, and we get ready for some Iowa action with World Series of Sim Racing League as they get ready to take on Iowa. That's going to be fun. Saturday night, 8:45. So make sure you tune in with Lee Tidwell and me, Robert A. Moyer Jr. in the booth. And then on Sunday night, guys, we are going to be at Darlington Throwback Paint Scheme. So make sure you tune in at 7:50 to watch Sim Racing Unleashed take on the Lady in Black. But until then, hopefully everybody has a great week. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought there. But anyways, sorry. God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.
Later, guys.
Bye.